It's the 4th of July 2024 and you're most welcome to the NILE CAST on your West Nile television, where we give you the daily news bulletins of the day. Every day from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. My name's Okumaringa Christine. Before we dive into any of the stories this evening, let's have more what's happening in the headlines tonight. In the headlines tonight, elders in Maracha district urged to end incest among young people. Gaga textile market vendors protest fresh polls in Ara City. And Pakwach District Local Government staff cautioned against misuse of social media. This and more in the NILE CAST News Bulletin. A warm welcome, viewer, and thank you for tuning in to the NILE CAST on your West Nile television. Let's dive straight into the stories that have made headlines today. Elders of Paragan clan in Paragan sub-county Maracha East constituency, Maracha district, have this week been requested to end the alarming sexual intercourse and marriage between young girls and boys who are relatives. Take a look.
The call was made during a cultural gala which is held every year in Paranga sub-county with the aim of orienting the young people on the history and cultures of Paranga clan. The LC3 chairman for Paranga sub-county, Honorable Osutre Godfrey, who is the initiator of this annual event, said he initiated it with the target of orienting and keeping the cultural values of Lugbara tribe, which prohibits relatives from engaging in sexual intercourse amongst themselves.
Sikangiri amani Paranga rulezo amama injiki uku kali sabibi riti asiri angiri anski sasi mesekalia suruto mveriti kodi inyatiki ania aziri misu mvariti kwa anadware itoni voru niku eliatete suruto mve Paranga rudi inyatiki ania aro anjita Paranga urudi ibena ziru anje Paranga anda lebe amati nyalo suruta godorudi inyatiki ania su anjita doani ibena yensi anje doani ibie amepiti gakile letanzi mesuki uduazi ni unisu imesekreati pamane wani mesuki sama embaki amadi amadesi ama isuru ngazongoni ngoni tozo abi ma values matambazo.
Benina Bokoro attributed the increase in incest amongst the youth to lack of knowing each other through attending funerals and participating in other cultural activities like dowry feasting.
Bakandra temani jebo le dara zanyarara yimidujidale ndi ba unirtero boba chate mu dusi ba baroko yobane baba ijipi duzu badari dibele bani ni rizukuri ni ba.
Honorable Ruth Lematema Londaro, the area MP for Marsa East constituency, advised women in Paranga clan to focus on parenting their children so that they not get involved in obscene crimes like homosexuality.
Okupini uruzu akupipe afadi churangu izeza izonzi ni himagwa ngoni ariko adisi kunira ma parents ro amanzi dikife akeki tibo ikilwa kibila dini ibali miasi akini manzi diki majengoni ariko okula mimi lanzi dini benya mbake mianzi dini bejo will member me jaro.
The Minister for Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities in Lubarakari, Honorable Andama Richard Ferua, who was guest of honor at the event, blamed the Christian and Islamic religions for failing to emphasize preaching in the Quran and Bible, which forbids marriage or sexual intercourse between relatives.
Even right from biblical times, incense is immoral. It's not accepted at all in the Bible. And that's what that clearly now means God does not accept it. And unless these youth are actually educated to know the relationships between themselves. You see, in the Bible, you clearly read Abraham begot Isaac. Isaac begot Jacob and Esau. You know, why are they narrating this in the Bible? For people to know the relationship between themselves. And we need even to have this even much more, because today we believe we are Christians or Muslims. But we are not emphasizing those important, principles of the Bible or of the Quran. And this is unfortunate. In other words, is it that we actually don't know to which a religious organization we belong? Is there something wrong that actually needs to be corrected? These kind of things are actually happening almost in all these areas our people live, and I think they must be corrected right away.
The annual Paranga Day Cultural Gala involves oral storytelling, riddles, cultural music, dancing, poems, and exhibition of traditional art and crafts. Osuta Yusuf, West Nile Television, NILE CAST.
Moving on to Arua City, the business came to a standstill on the 3rd of July 2024 as Gaga Textile Market in Arua City. Angry protesters stormed the voting centers, stopping the exercise from proceeding. Farish Majid has more on the story.
Business came to a standstill the 3rd of July 2024 at Gaga Textile Market in Arua City as angry protesters stormed the voting center, stopping the exercise from proceeding. The disgruntled group of vendors, mainly youth carrying placards and chanting "No to fresh polls," stormed the venue where elections were proceeding and violently pushed away the officials and voters from conducting the exercise. The angry group of voters rejected the polls on grounds of having interference from Dr. Malik, the town clerk of Central Division.
Since we actually elected our chairperson for the association, we said no, we're not going to handle our elections today. Since we have our chairperson who is in charge of us right now, who is taking care of the market now, we're not going to handle elections. But they are just insisting that we are only going to have elections. This is now the 30th year. Any election which has been organized in these 30 years has not been organized by the town clerk. It has been organized by the members, and then of which the vice chairperson, the outgoing one, is the electoral commission, who is actually handling the electoral process of the association.
Afayo Christopher, the former chairperson of Arua Gaga Market Traders Association, attributes the conflicts to failure to respect their constitution by imposing the Market Act to determine their affairs.
The Market Acts cannot act against the will of the members. The members have a right to determine who must be their leader depending on merit. Any candidate can contest, but what matters most is the character, is the agenda of that person, of which we thought the Market Act must come and empower that. But now, the situation on the ground is the constitution of Gaga Market challenges the constitution, in fact the Market Act. These are all legal documents, and we feel these legal documents must not divide the people. So personally for me, I feel whatever election they have organized at this level is not at the right time. If they have in fact nullified this recent election, which was democratically organized and it was transparent in a manner in which the complainants failed to contest, failed to aspire, they must come on the ground and tell our people, our vendors, our members why that election was null and void. It must not be a mere paperwork.
Meanwhile, Dr. Malik, the town clerk of Central Division Arua City, refuted the allegations as he says the elections were nullified on grounds of irregularities that marred the previous elections.
We had given time to organize these elections basing on the previous elections that dropped. The first election that was supposed to take place in that facility was supposed to be on 17th April 2024. But because of the gaps, voters' registers were not well cleaned, and also coordination of those elections were not properly done. these elections, all the elections in our public markets facilities are supervised by our registrar, that is the community-based department, based services department. So when we called off that the elections that day, there was a group of the vendors, if you may say members of the former leaders of Gaga Textile Market Association. They still went ahead and conducted the elections in line with their constitutions that guided them.
Abdul Aziz Hakim, the incumbent chairperson of Gaga Textile Market, who went unopposed, expressed dismay at the town clerk's office for wanting to oust his leadership since the relevant authorities are aware of him being in office.
Ever since I became in power, the handovers were done. I'm the legitimate leader who is already in office, but we have a lot of challenges which we are facing right now on the ground. There are some individuals which are trying to disorganize us here as the association, of which they're still not happy with the election which was held, and they have some, I think, some bribes with these authorities.
As Mohammed Zamil, the Deputy Resident City Commissioner in charge of Central Division, through orders of Charles Ichogor, the Resident City Commissioner guided the elections be suspended till further notice.
By the rules of the election. Okay. Now, when the voters and the people are not ready to vote and they want to cause chaos, and this is a place which is congested, people's properties are here, we anticipate there's going to be bigger problem. Therefore, as I conducted the senior RCC, he has guided strategically that I should officially first cancel the election until further notice. We shall summon all the stakeholders for a meeting, we harmonize, then we see what to do.
In a letter seen written by their lawyer Alakan Company Advocates, addressed the leadership of Central Division in Arua City, the group rejected the fresh polls, and today when the scuffle ensued, the Resident City Commissioner guided for suspension till further notice. Farish Majid, West Nile TV, NILE CAST.
Pakwach District local government staff have been cautioned against the misuse of social media with a strong emphasis on careful consideration of what is to be shared in the public. Alfred Jawok reports more.
Pakwach District local government staff have been cautioned against the misuse of social media with a strong emphasis on careful consideration of what is shared with the public. This was raised this afternoon, 4th July 2024, during the first day of the 3-day training on performance enhancement program for heads of departments across the district, aiming to foster a sense of belonging, common values, and positive mindset for effective performance. During his opening remarks, the Deputy Chief Administrative Officer Pakwach District, Stephen Budra Dema, warns staff against sharing information that could misrepresent the district's reputation.
We have had the opportunity to talk about communication in the public sector. If you look at the Access to Information Act, it creates positions of information officers who are authorized to release public information to whoever requires it. So what has been happening of late is that you realize that a confidential in-house document all of a sudden is found in the social media, WhatsApp and that. And yet some of those are sensitive documents of government. So yesterday we learned that information should not be released anyhow. Information should be released on a request and the procedure should be followed. And only those who are authorized to release information to the public should be the ones to do it.
Jennifer Kerobedi, Principal Human Resource Officer, Pakwach District, during the training session on communication in public service, advised officers to avoid sharing information without recommendations from their supervisors, stressing that effective communication is crucial for delivering quality services to the local people.
As a district, we needed more support on how to use that tool called Balance Scorecard to measure performance. We started with the heads of departments and the head teachers so that they can cascade the knowledge on Balance Scorecard to the people that they supervise.
The 3-day training is organized by the Civil Service College Uganda. The college is responsible for in-service training, strengthening public policy research, providing advisory services, supporting innovations for improved service delivery, and building the capacities of public service institutions and human resources to enhance performance in public service delivery. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
Following the recent introduction of the budget by the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, directing Parliament to make adjustments, retired Colonel Kizza Besigye has expressed dismay in the process. He made these remarks while meeting the leaders in Arua City. Take a look.
The President is the executive, the one who puts in effect, who implements, who puts into action what Parliament decides. Are we together? Yes. Parliament decides, executive executes. Are we together? Yes. You have just heard, just this week, Parliament decided on a budget and it was passed and read to the country as the budget for this year. Days later, Museveni says, I don't like this. I want money for I want money for this company, Rocco. Rocco is a company by foreigners.
Viewers, my name is Orak Benson Pastore. This is West Nile Television news still going on, and it is the segment of sports, and we are all aware that things continues to transpire in the world of sports. But before we take a look at what transpired today in the group stages of the African Cup of Nations that will be hosted by Morocco come next year, let's first take a look at a big story that has happened in Ugandan sports, more especially in football. I can confirm to you Amak Fred has completed his move from Maroons on a free transfer, and he has signed 1-year contract with the team of Airtel Cetara, that's the Royals. Previously, he played for the Said Maroons, and he has been a key figure for the team of Maroons ever since joining from the team of Busoga way back in 2019. Before that, he also featured for a West Nile-based club called the Paida Black Angels. Finally, after so many years, he has left the team of Maroons, now playing for the Royals. That comes from Hoima. Let's drop that one there. The biggest story that has happened in on African soil, as far as sports is concerned, is all about the draws of the group stages of the upcoming African Cup of Nations that will be hosted by Morocco come next year, 2025. I know most of the Ugandans who love sports so much will want to know the group stages teams Uganda's been pitted against. I'm going to give you all the groups. Let's start with the Group A. In Group A, we have got Tunisia, Madagascar, Comoros, and Gambia. Meanwhile, in Group B, we have got Morocco, the host country. Gabon is one of them, Central African Republic, and lastly Lesotho. Then in Group C, we have got the Pharaohs, that's the Egyptians, Egypt, and we have got Cape Verde, Mauritania, and lastly Botswana. Meanwhile, in Group D, we have got Nigeria, Benin, Libya, and lastly Rwanda. And then in Group E, we have got Algeria, the Desert Foxes, Equatorial Guinea, we have Togo, and lastly Liberia. Meanwhile, in Group F, we have got Ghana, Angola, Sudan, and lastly Niger. In Group G, we have got Ivory Coast, we have Zambia, Sierra Leone, and lastly Chad. And in Group H, we have got Democratic Republic of the Congo, that's our neighbors Congo, Guinea, Tanzania, and Ethiopia. Meanwhile, in Group I, we have got that's Mali, Mozambique, Guinea-Bissau, and lastly Eswatini. And in Group G, we have got Cameroon, Namibia, Kenya, and Zimbabwe. And in Group K, where Uganda is, we have got Uganda Cranes themselves, we have got South Africa, we have got Congo Brazzaville, and lastly also our neighbors South Sudan. And in Group L, that is in the last group, we have got Senegal, we have got Burkina Faso, we have got Malawi, and lastly Burundi. And repeating it again, Uganda is in Group K alongside countries like South Africa, the Bafanas, Congo Brazzaville, and lastly South Sudan. Let's drop the African stories here and also Ugandan stories here, and quickly we jet to Europe and we talk about the upcoming games in the European Championship. The games have already proceeded to the quarterfinals, and they are bouncing back tomorrow, whereby the biggest game tomorrow will be between Spain and Germany. Portugal will be taking on France. And then come on Saturday, expect two games on the card, as England will take on Switzerland. And the last game in the quarterfinals will see Netherlands. Some of the deals that are the pipeline, I'm talking about transfer. I can confirm to you, Arsenal, the Gunners, they have already completed the signing of David Raya from the team of Brentford on a permanent deal at a fee of £27 million. And initially, he joined on loan deal, and last season we saw him winning the Golden Glove with the team of Gunners. And also, Max Kilman is at the verge of joining Hammers, that's West Ham, at a fee of around £40 million. At first, Wolves did go with something of £25 million, but was rejected by Wolves, and they have already accepted the £40 million and will be reuniting with his former manager as gaffer. I am talking about Julian Leptao. And also leaving that one there, the biggest story coming from English soil is all about, and also from Manchester United, is all about Erik ten Hag extending his contract with the team of Manchester United. His initial contract he signed with Manchester United was due to expire in the summer of 2025. He has added it by 1 year. That means it will take him it will still make him to stay at Manchester United until 2026. Why don't we summarize with the gossips? Because gossips start fast before it generates the final transfer. Arsenal, they submitted something of around £50 million to get the Bologna defender. That's Bologna defender in the names of Riccardo Calafiori. If you have been following Euro, he has been one of the key defenders for Italy. Calafiori actually has been linked with a move to Arsenal, but Bologna, they have said £40 million is not enough, and at least £50 million, where we're also seeing teams like Chelsea battling Arsenal for the signature of the defender. Meanwhile, Real Madrid, they're also interested in the signature of William Saliba from the team of Arsenal. Is still pending a rumor, a gossip. And also we have seen Nigerian and Napoli forward Victor Osimhen has been linked with a move to Chelsea and Manchester United, but despite of the interest from the above clubs, he has has been included in the pre-season tour squad for the team of Napoli. And we have also seen Diamond Williams, the former player for Arsenal, Chelsea, Shakhtar Donetsk, has rejected a new deal at the team of Fulham, and he has been linked with a move to Turkey Super League and also Saudi Professional League. Still in more of the stories, Barcelona, they are willing to sell Ronald Araujo, the Uruguayan, and at the same time Brazilian winger Rafinha, in order to raise something raise some little money to sign Athletic Bilbao forward, that is Nico Williams. And Everton, right now, they are interested in the signature of 22-year-old Cameroonian, that's Jackson Kakua or Chachua. It depends on how you want to call him. And Hellas Verona, they have valued him at around £7 million. That's equivalent to 8 million euros. And lastly, in the world of transfer gossip, Atalanta, they are very much interested in the signature of Italian forward Nicolo Zaniolo from the team of Galatasaray from a Turkey Super League club. That one brings us to the end of today's edition of NILE CAST Sports News, and it has been me, Benson Pastore, in front of the lens. Let's link up again tomorrow as I will still be updating you with what has already happened and what continues to transpire as far as world of sports is concerned.
Benson Pastore for that sports news and that sports highlight only on West Nile Television. Thank you, viewers, for taking the time to be with us from the beginning of the Nile Cast to the end of the Nile Cast only on West Nile Television. Please stay tuned to the rest of the subsequent programs that will follow. My name is